and welcome to the Art of Costume Podcast. I'm Elizabeth Joy Glass.
And I also live in a barn in Wuthering Heights. Spencer Williams.
No, you don't. You live in the apartment next to me.
But, yeah, I guess it's not much like a barn.
No.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to a highly anticipated, probably going to be a little spicy episode of the Art of Costume Podcast. Elizabeth, I have been so excited for this one. I have to say, a little nervous.
Same. I am also a little nervous. Everybody, this week during Toxic Romance Month, we watched possibly the most toxic of all romances in a film by Emerald Fennell. Quote, Wuthering Heights, unquote.
Yeah, we watched it, and yeah, it was pretty toxic, I have to say.
Yeah.
So toxic, I have to announce that I am, of course, sick. I got our annual Spencer is Sick episode out of the way off the top here at the beginning of the year. Usually I wait till about mid-year or end of the year for our Spencer is Sick episode. I just got it right off the top here at the beginning of season 6. So I am coming to everyone live from my bed here. I think it had to do with Kathy and Heathcliff just being in the rain for about 2 hours in this movie, just nonstop rain scenes.
I'm surprised they didn't get sick more often.
Just all those rain scenes. I was starting to get a chill, and now here I am, just getting a chill. You know,
it affected you, and I mean, theory. But the release of this film also brought way too much rain to California.
Honestly, yeah, it's been raining nonstop since I watched this film. So,
basically.
Yeah.
But obviously this week we watched Wuthering Heights. In the last episode, I said Wuthering Heights was not my most favorite Bronte sister book. And so in preparation to see this movie and do this episode, I reread Wuthering Heights.
Wow. That's commitment.
I took it upon myself because I was like, Elizabeth, it's been a really long time since you read this book. Maybe just, refresh your mind and your memory. So that's exactly what I did. So I could come into this remembering everything fairly well, and upon reading Wuthering Heights, I realized I have the same problem with this book that I have with Romeo and fucking Juliet.
Oh no.
It's not a love story. It's not a love story. It's a story about how classism and racism affects people, how our actions affect the lives of others, and how that also creates generational trauma. There's a whole second half of this story that does not get told in this movie. And, it has that good dash of gothic romance that gives it its unique style. But it's not a romance. It's not. It's about societal problems. And I was like, why are so many people thinking this is a romance? So I did my little researchies. And turns out it started with the 1939 adaptation with Laurence Olivier, because they were like, we gotta keep this movie tight and create a more straightforward love story. So they cut the second half. That movie was a huge success. And now we're stuck with people thinking Wuthering Heights is a romance.
Yeah, there you go. The cycle of abuse continues. Well, yeah. Here we have this film, and obviously it is it's an adaptation, which is why it's in quotes. It is very much Emerald Fennell's fun take on it, and she's been very open about it is her own take on it. And she said, like, you can't really do Wuthering Heights word for word from the book as she feels like you can imagine it. So like there's so many different versions to it. So this is her crazy take on it, which I think is so much fun. So we're about to get into it. Elizabeth and I have different takes on this film. When she texted me and was like, "You're really in for it." That's not exactly what the text said. And I was a couple days behind her, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm excited to get into this. So let's do it.
Let's do it, Spencer. Do you want to introduce us to our director and give us a summary?
I do. Wuthering Heights was directed by Emerald Fennell, who you would know for her notable work such as Promising Young Women and Saltburn, which captivated the nation not too long ago.
Yes.
The Wuthering Heights plunges us into a love story that is feral, obsessive, and ruinous to everyone it touches. Set against the unforgiving Yorkshire moors, the film centers on Heathcliff and Catherine Earnshaw, two souls bound by desire, resentment, and a need to possess rather than love. Their connection is volatile and deeply toxic, fueled by class, pride, and emotional cruelty, where love becomes a weapon and devotion turns destructive. As Kathy chooses security over passion, Heathcliff's heartbreak curdles into vengeance, dragging generations into his storm. This is not a romance, and it's an emotional battlefield where longing, rage, and obsession collide, leaving nothing unscathed in their wake. And that is Wuthering Heights.
That's Wuthering Heights. Although the way she changed it, generations can't even be dragged into turmoil.
Yeah, right. We kind of put an end to it.
Because literally, of the 3 children that are in the second half of the book, this film only leaves room for one of them.
Right.
Which is crazy to me. However, I could say so many things, but I won't. Instead, let's meet our costume designer, the wonderful Jacqueline Durran. You will know her work from the Oscar-nominated Atonement, Nanny McPhee Returns, the Oscar-winning Anna Karenina, which we talked about last time on the Art of Costume podcast, Mr. Turner, Beauty and the Beast, Darkest Hour, 1917, Little Women, her second Oscar win, Spencer, the Batman, and Barbie. Our girl's back once again. Apparently she has the market cornered on costuming toxic romance.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, I mean, Jacqueline Durran is at the scene of the crime. She is one of the best, and she has strong relationship with Emerald Fennell. And she knows her period costuming well, and she knows how to do her research well. And we're going to definitely be getting into Jacqueline Durran quite a bit in a little bit here. So
yes,
we love her. So we've been talking about her quite a bit recently. So
we are going to take a quick break and then jump into Wuthering Heights.
we have a lot to say. I know you all been waiting for it, so let's take a break. When we're done, we're gonna get into all of it. So let's take a break, and we need to have a meeting, everyone. We'll reconvene. All right, Elizabeth, are you ready to get into all this? Because I have some things to say.
Go for it, Spencer.
All right, everyone come close. It's time for us to have a meeting to talk about Wuthering Heights and historical costuming. Because there's been a lot of conversation around this film, and I think it's time we have a little heart-to-heart. as the Art of Costume podcast and historical costuming and costume design. I think, Elizabeth, for too long now, I think we've been, not us in particular, but I think people have been confusing period films and period television with this idea that because it's period, everything has to be, this idea that period has to be so accurate all the time. You know, period
absolutely.
means 100% all the time has to be accurate. And, you know, there's been all these articles coming out recently with Wuthering Heights. And one I saw the other day, which I really love, from Days, called, and the headline says, "Costume design doesn't owe you historical accuracy."
It doesn't.
And I really love it because it is 100% true. Costume design does not owe anyone historical accuracy. And I think we're really at a shift, and I think Wuthering Heights is really at the point of, like, it's at the top of this momentum. We're talking about Jacqueline Durran here, and I know people could have opinions about Wuthering Heights. You could not like this film. That's totally fine. You could not like it because of the way it adapts the book, and you could not like it for a myriad of different reasons about this film. You know, that's totally fine. And you could not like the costumes. That's fine. But to not like it because it's not, like, historically accurate, to me is like, that's not what it's supposed to be. And even Jacqueline Durran and everyone on this film says, like, that was never the intention. Or to like even suggest that Jacqueline Durran doesn't know her research is just crazy to me. I mean, if you look back, before this film was even released, the paparazzi photos were coming of Margot Robbie's wedding dress in this film, and all the historical costume nerds were picking apart the wedding dress, saying, like,
they were crashing out
over her wedding dress, being like, well, that wedding dress is, like, she doesn't know what she's doing because that wedding dress silhouette wasn't popular until Queen Victoria made it popular later on, until, like, the 1840s when she married Prince Albert. And it's like, guys, like, what are you talking about? And, like, that's just, like, no one cares about that. Costume design is about storytelling, making the story right. It's about what the director, between them and the director, making the story right, and what they see in those pages. It's between what Jacqueline and Emerald Fennell saw in those pages and the conversation they had. You know, they're making a story that's being laid to the track of Charlie XCX. You know, and this, like, conversation where they were seeing this blood red, or, like, this, like, liquid lame, Poor Things, which was another big, that's a period film.
Oh yeah,
or even, like, films like Frankenstein and Kate Hawley. It's period, but, like, that's a film where we get to, like, let some pieces off the hook, because it's like, but that's still another film that's in Guillermo del Toro's vision of, like, this is his vision of what period it looked like, even though we all know that, you know, maybe we weren't exactly using x-rays of hip bones to make prints on dresses. Or Hamnet with Malgosia Trzonska, she straight up said, like, yeah, I know the research, but I also knew what I wanted to do in terms of the research when it came to the Elizabethan period, but I also knew the story that I wanted to tell. Going all the way back to Marie Antoinette and Shakespeare in Love, all these designers know their research, and you have to know your research to also break and bend the rules too. So all that being said, like, these designers know the rules. And because they know the rules, know the research, they're entitled to break them to serve their own stories that they have been given to them through the scripts and storytelling. Because at the end of the day, they're storytellers. And they're not beholden to historical costume professionals or historical costume Reddit threads or whatnot. And I'm just kind of done with being told by the like, for example, the new film that's also being bashed right now is The Odyssey that Ellen Marojnik is doing armor for. And people are like, I'm not gonna watch this film. Like, the armor is all right. This is not what Odysseus would have
sent
wore.
you multiple reels of
And it's
somebody
like,
crashing out.
Right, the same movie with the Cyclops in it. Right, I'm so sorry. Like, this is not the armor they would have wore in this. It's just like, please be so for real right now. I
know. And it's like, I appreciate that people are passionate about historical costume, because we need people like that so that we have the research and the memory of it so people can draw from it.
Right.
And I just personally find it kind of disappointing that when people see that these films are coming out and not being 100% accurate, that, like you said, they're not understanding the purpose of storytelling and how all of these elements converge to tell a specific story and convey a specific vision. Like, no one's trying to be 100% accurate. No one has ever claimed that for the most part. Mm-hmm. But it's like...
Rare cases.
But I'm mostly disappointed that these people, they go online and they crash out. And I'm like, take this opportunity when something is popular, when people are paying attention to it, to educate people. Mm-hmm. Like, don't just yell that you're upset that it's wrong. Be like, hey, this new film is coming out and I would love to take this opportunity to, teach you about, proper 1860s clothing. Like, whatever they're upset about, like, teach people. Like, you're the minority. Most people aren't going to understand why you're upset, but also it doesn't really matter if you're upset. So, like, take that energy, do something constructive, and teach people. If you're this passionate about it, teach people.
Totally. Yeah. Take what you enjoy about this film and, like, say what you enjoyed. This is what I enjoyed in the movie Nosferatu, the costumes we saw. And these were costumes that were conveyed that you don't usually see from this time period, because it's such like a far gone period. That makes sense to me. Like, but like bashing films because it's just, I totally agree with you. Just trust our costume designers, and I 100% will always trust Jacqueline Durran. That is just, I said that last episode before we even saw Wuthering Heights. I was like, I know one thing to be clear, like, to be true, I will always be down with whatever Jacqueline Durran's going to do. So,
and you really can't deny that she made something beautiful here.
Yeah, for sure.
Right out of the gate, we are kind of we're gonna skip over the young Heathcliff and Kathy, just because they don't have too much going on.
It's just a lot of rags, unfortunately.
They're just, like, very dirty and running around. So we're gonna hop straight into adult Kathy. And for Margot Robbie's Catherine Earnshaw, Jacqueline Durran created between 45 and 50 costumes.
Jeez.
She wasn't even sure at the end. She did an interview with Vogue a couple weeks before it came out, and she was like, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, that's a pretty big gap.
I think she said something like she had, like, a different change, like, every, like, 30 seconds or something.
Which I believe. And Jacqueline told Vogue of Kathy's first outfit, which is this, like, milkmaid outfit. It's incredible. But Jacqueline told Vogue, as the film opens, we're trying to lay out our intentions. This is a stylized version of Wuthering Heights, and it's difficult to nail this look because it has a nod to the period, a nod to contemporary fashion, and also a nod to old Hollywood. It has all the themes that we want to bring to visually to this movie. So it was about meshing it all together. It's a costume, and it's a costume. And it's not necessarily realistic or unrealistic. So this is where we're starting.
Yeah, it is. I did think it was a little interesting. I was like, it was a little milkmaid, kind of like Oktoberfest. I was a little interested in this one at first. Not one of my favorites, but it's cute.
It's cute. It very much gives they're like poor aristocracy. Yeah. And I feel like it very much gives that.
One thing I would just love to understand, and there's Jacqueline Durran's very selective on the interview she does, is the use. She only wears like black, white, and red throughout this entire film, except like one like random instance of blue. I don't understand her use of red. I like in the sense that like I don't understand what she's trying to say. Usually I feel like I know what she's trying to say. It's usually like something serious like adultery or like the other woman, but she's using red like straight out the gate here, like from this
unbridled passion for Heathcliff.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a good way to put it. It's like she's hot and ready to go, like for the very first moment we see her. So maybe you got it, Elizabeth. Maybe that is it.
I think that's it. And Jacob Elordi was so wonderfully filthy in this first part of the film.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, and then I was like, oh.
Hey, did you see this with your mom?
Maybe, yes, I did. She's visiting.
Yeah, okay, just wondering.
I was like, I have to go see this. Do you want to see this? She said, sure. We were both confused walking out of the theater. Anyway. Now I've lost my train of thought.
Sorry. Heathcliff.
It's Heathcliff. Disgusting, filthy. It's wonderful.
Yes.
I also talk about costume low-key being a plot point when she's wearing that leather corset with the front lacing and he pulls her up.
Oh, when he picks her up, and I was like, dang, like that's some strong.
Of her corset.
I thought the same thing too. I was like, damn, that thing's strong.
I know. I was like, did they is Jacob Elordi? I'm sure he's that strong. Sure he's that strong.
Uh-huh.
Are the laces that strong, or do they have Margot Robbie hooked up to something?
I don't know. I really thought that. That's a great question. I wouldn't be surprised if it's yes to all of the above. No, I bet you the corset's that strong, honestly.
Probably. If it's leather, probably.
Yeah. I bet you that was practical, honestly. So now that I just yelled at the historical costume nerds, I'm like, actually, I have a question. Wait, come back. I do have a question.
We don't hate you. We just want you to play nice.
Yeah, we just play nice, okay? We could all play in the same sandbox. There's
enough division in this country. We don't need it in our costumes.
I just don't like it when you yell at our costume designers, okay? No, come back. I have a question. Did Jacob Elordi... but no, you're so right. That is a costume plot point, and I wondered the same thing. Because I've tied some corsets in my day. I've made corsets too, and I am not an expert corset maker. And I know the ones I've made would definitely fall apart, but I'm not a professional. So
yeah.
So I don't know. So
and I think it's such a subtle use of. Because, in a lot of scenes in movies, the lacing and unlacing of a corset is made to be, very erotic.
Yeah.
And it's he doesn't even have to undo the laces. It's literally this film just being this is what it's about. And, by him grabbing her corset laces and lifting her up.
Is this before or after the scene where Nellie is lacing her up for like ever? I don't even remember.
Before.
Okay.
Before. Because that's when she's about to get married, I believe.
Oh, okay. I like that scene too. That was a good one. Lots of good costume, like dressing up scenes.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, just the way she was like, tighter, tighter. I was like, oh, girl.
I know.
You're really hoping to pass out in the middle of this, aren't you?
Yeah, she's like, you're not going to be able to breathe. And she's like, whatever.
In a turn for Catherine Earnshaw when she gets sick or twists her ankle or something and has to stay with their new neighbors, she comes back in I was like, oh, she's an American Girl doll type outfit. I was like, this is Felicity's like scandalous stepsister. Okay.
I like it. It reminded me of, so this is the outfit she wears when she comes back from being at the neighbors for something like, 6 weeks or something?
Yeah. The Lintons, yeah.
It reminds me of like Strawberry Shortcake, honestly. Like the little Strawberry Shortcake dolls. It's very sweet, very girly, very feminine. Also like very red, white, pink. Yeah, it's a great costume and she looks very happy, glowing. Heathcliff hates it.
He hates it.
Of course, but
he goes chops wood about it.
Oh man, he chops wood like crazy, which of course just makes everyone else, especially Kathy, very uncomfortable in a very, very understanding way. Yeah, but it was very like Strawberry Shortcake, which is very somehow like Isabella and Strawberry Shortcake make sense, and she's like very like dolls and like kind of like stunted youth a little bit.
Yeah. I also especially love like all the flowers on it. And it's like, because clearly they treated her like a princess.
Yeah.
Like
for a little too long.
For a little too long. They like bought her new clothes. And earlier in the film, I don't know if you caught it, but her dad calls her an old maid. But this is like for the film, a very light, airy costume. The sleeves are slightly see-through. It's full of these like blooming flowers of her being like, no, I'm not an old maid. Like, there's someone who still wants me.
Right.
But it isn't Heathcliff. Because after so much turmoil between the two of them, she makes the smart decision to marry Edgar.
That's a crazy way to wrap up that. A lot of crazy things happened between this and that, but okay.
Well, that's what it is for now. And she wears the infamous wedding gown heard around the internet in 2025.
Sheesh.
And Jacqueline says to Vogue about her wedding gown, the wedding dress was an amalgamation of Victorian and 1950s fashion, from Franz Xavier Winterhall to Charles James. So they're just throwing everything at this movie.
Yeah. I actually love the wedding dress, not gonna lie, because one, it looks cool, but you hardly even see it. But the way it's shot, it's very veiled and it flows very perfectly in the wind, and it's very cloudy and dark. Like, it just works very well with like the production design, where she kind of looks like a ghost, and she's just like so kind of like distraught and kind of like dead like that. She just feels very like spectral ghost like, where she just feels kind of like dead. Like, she's just like, she doesn't even want to be here. She doesn't want to be married to Edgar Linton. No. She doesn't want to be here. She wants to be married to Heathcliff. So again, like, this is why I was kind of upset that the internet like bashed the movie so hard over this dress, because like it was taken out of context so hard. Yeah. That like I just liked just this dress so much, because it just said so much about her character in this moment, about how just like how depressed, and how it was almost like a funeral outfit more than anything, like than it was supposed to be like a happy like wedding dress than anything. So I loved it for that. moment.
Absolutely. And I agree with the whole, because like literally she is just like resigning herself to a very lavish lifestyle, but still she knows she doesn't love Edgar the way she loves Heathcliff. And she's just like, well, Heathcliff has up and disappeared. Heathcliff has left the chat. So she is making the best of her. She waited a whole year. And Heathcliff was like, forget you.
Totally. Point of conversation. Nellie, I don't want to defend Nellie, but like,
please do. Nellie needs defending in this movie.
But clearly, like, if we didn't see Heathcliff standing outside the door, but like, Kathy did say what she said, though. What she said was not very nice.
No.
So, like, it was not very nice, dear.
No. Oh my gosh. In the book, he's actually in the room when she says that. Kathy just doesn't know.
Well, so there you go. So,
and like that's when he like gets up and leaves, and Nellie sees him and is like, oh shit, but I'm not gonna tell Catherine because that will just make things worse.
Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like Nellie's kind of like a scapegoat for most of the time.
Nellie is done dirty in this movie. Yeah. I'm just gonna put that out there right now.
Yeah.
I did not like how Nellie was treated.
She's kind of done dirty at the end too, when she was like, my bad, I don't know. She's dramatic as hell. How was I supposed to know?
Spencer, I can't get into it. I was so mad. And I will tell, like, I went into this film with a very open mind because I knew it was not a page for page adaptation. I knew that. I'll get into it more later, but there were some things that I was like, hey, hold on a second. Nellie was one of them. But after this spectral wedding gown, Kathy has quite the wedding night ensemble that Durran explains to Vogue, saying, one image Emerald showed me was this amazing 1950s picture of a woman wrapped up in cellophane like a gift with a bow around the middle. That was the starting point for this look. And we thought, how can we recreate this? It's about Kathy being a gift on her wedding night, making herself a gift, which has all sorts of problematic things in there, but it created quite the look.
Yeah. This was like the one costume in the film that I actually didn't like.
Yeah, same.
But I actually liked the idea of it, the cellophane. Yeah. I mean, like, obviously it's dark, but I like the idea of like her being like this gift to Edgar. Like, it's like dark and spooky. Like, I like the idea of like behind Emerald, Jacqueline's thinking. But like you only see it for like another hot second. But like just in that moment when I was sitting in the theater and I saw the cellophane, I was like, what was that? Like, it was just like an egregious moment of me in that theater being like spitting out like my Coke Zero and popcorn. I was like, what was that? You know, I was just like, whoa.
Yeah.
Woof.
It's one of those things where I'm like, love the concept. Execution? ?
It just, I don't know if it just read a weird on screen, but like, I appreciate the like crazy thinking about, so I'm all about it. It doesn't make me want to. I'm all about the thinking, so I'm not gonna dock any points. I like the intuitive thinking.
Yeah, especially when you see that, because the Vogue article had a lot of the images Jacqueline used on her inspiration boards. Yeah. And they had the image of the woman wrapped in cellophane. And I'm like, I see how we got from A to B. Yeah, I see that.
The references are cool. I kind of like the references a little bit better. So, I don't know. I think it's just like the lighting mixed with the actual execution. I don't know what it is. Something, I don't know.
I think it's the top of this.
Yeah.
Bottom down, like middle down, amazing. It's the top that gets me.
I feel like it's the bow to me. I feel like the bow makes it look like wrapping paper a little bit. I don't know. I don't know.
We'll have to think about this.
I'm sure Jacqueline Durran's listening to this and she's just like, gosh, I was going to go on this podcast and now I'm not.
We've literally never been able to get her on here.
I know. I've literally sent 1,000 emails of subject line Jacqueline Durran. Anyways, next costume, please, before I ruin my chances one more time.
Spencer, I don't know about you, but I love the amount of jewelry collabs in film that we have been learning about. And in Wuthering Heights, Jacqueline once again reached out to Chanel.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, for the film's jewelry needs, as she explained to Vogue, saying, Chanel are amazing. We needed jewelry for Kathy that was exquisite and bold. It was great for us if you could see the historical origin in the design, which were at the same time so exciting and modern. I contacted Elsa Heisman, Chanel's global director of cinematic relations. And she went through their archives with a fine-tooth comb, uncovering the most wonderful vintage pieces. When the packages arrived, we were beyond thrilled.
I love it.
I love how all of her costumes need excessive security.
I love it. Wait, did Jacqueline also work with Chanel on Anna Karenina in the last episode? I imagine like at this point Chanel has like a red phone dedicated to like Jacqueline Durran that just rings every couple of years. They're like, oh no, the JD phone's ringing. That's so cool. Yeah, you're right. Like these costume designers are really leaning on like these designers for like vintage jewelry pieces now, and I love it. That's cool. So I mean, and I thought the same thing. Like Kathy's pieces were really shining. Every single piece too was really like doing the job too. And it's like there's some serious montages too.
Oh yeah, especially because it wasn't just, she wouldn't have like a statement piece on. Head to toe, rings, bracelets, brooches, necklaces. Like she had everything all the time, especially in the unhappy Kathy montages.
Yeah.
She is just dressed to the nines. And like she really is living the life with Edgar and Isabella and not appreciating it. That's another point I won't get into.
No. She's overcompensating, it feels like.
Yeah. She's absolutely overcompensating. But Spencer, let's take this little montage moment to talk about some of our other characters, like Edgar.
Yeah, he's like a pretty, like, in terms of like what Kathy could have got stuck with, he seems like a pretty chill, normal guy, right?
He's so nice. He's so chill. He like wants to give her everything possible.
Yeah, and he's not ugly also, right?
No, he's quite cute. And Jacqueline really wanted to show that in the film, he's supposed to be new money. So she really lent into that concept, like really giving him, I don't want to say garish, but definitely like his costumes are as over the top as Kathy's are.
Yeah.
Like they match each other quite well.
Yeah. He like kind of toes the line. He's close, but not exactly there 100% for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we also have Nellie, who's just kind of still Kathy's companion.
Right, which is such a confusing character to me.
So in the book, she's just a servant who is slightly older
You know how like growing up, people are always like, "Oh yeah, I'm like your mom paid me to be your friend or whatnot," like that
Yeah.
joke. That's how I always read it. Like Nellie was like paid to be her friend. It felt like
No, she's straight up a servant.
yeah.
Like, there's so many times where Nellie's like, Kathy, I have work to do. What is your problem?
Yeah, but then I
But
also
this,
was like, I think your servant wants to murder you. Honestly, like,
yeah.
like Nellie does not seem to like Kathy one bit.
No, not in this. And like, she's like a lady's maid or a paid companion in this, which was not unheard of for the time. But she's also like the bastard daughter of like, it seems like a lord or something.
Yeah, something
And I
like
was
that.
like, Emerald Fennell, why? What was the point of that? But I like just how simple Nellie is, but how however well Kathy is doing, is how much better Nellie is also looking. It's like the two go hand in hand.
Yeah, that is true for sure.
One person who might be more over the top than Kathy, and probably the most different of all the characters from the book, at least in my view, was Isabella. And Jacqueline had some pretty fun inspiration for Isabella from the 1860s, saying to Vogue, I particularly love the skirt shape from the 1860s, and we looked in fashion manuals of the period for all the ways in which people would trim things and add bows and lace, and how complicated their dresses would be, and how fussy. Isabella as a character is someone who'd spend all day making ribbons and bows and trimmings. So we really just went to town with that idea and even overdid it potentially. It's all quite childlike and naive, and it's our own exaggeration of that historical period.
Yeah, she was honestly a little creepy because like
Yeah.
it's like so hyper feminine. So many bows, so many ribbons.
It's not just feminine, it's girlish.
Yeah, it is. Like you can't even place how old she is, honestly.
No, you can't. That was like the most like disturbing part to me, was like, because they end up saying she's like 20 something.
Right.
But I was like, is she 13? Is she 16? Is she 18? Like,
is she 12? Is she 18? And then she has that scene with like Heathcliff, and you're like, oh, is she older than 12? Is she like, I don't like, I don't know how old she is. Like, I don't get it. And now she's chained up in a house barking like a dog, and you're like, okay.
you know what else I didn't get, Spencer?
Uh-oh.
The connection between Wuthering Heights and Romeo and Juliet that Emerald Fennell tried to make in the scene where Isabella is wearing the yellow dress, the scene where we are introduced to Isabella and she's telling Edgar all about Romeo and Juliet, which she just read. And straight up says some people think the Juliet's like nurse is the bad guy. And I'm like, why are you just straight up telling us it's Nellie in your view?
That's
like,
so funny. I caught that too. I was like, oh no, not this person explain Romeo and Juliet. Elizabeth's gonna hate this.
I was crashing out in the theater, Spencer.
Yeah, but Isabella was definitely a fun character. Over the top, so many different colors, just like unsettling, honestly. And I could imagine just like Jacqueline just having so much fun with this character in terms of the costume.
I know.
It's like almost like this is where like she said, like they picked like a period that they like had a reference, but they just kind of like got to go over the top with it in terms of the research. So
I especially loved that like rainbow organza dress she has. I was like, ooh, look at you because like that was like a growing up moment for her, and I was like, look at you go, girl.
Yeah.
Look at you go.
That's a good one.
Unfortunately, it doesn't particularly end well for her. But
not quite.
We've got more Kathy to deal with.
Yeah. Starting with this like red riding hood look that she has going on.
Her Christmas Day.
Oh yeah, it was Christmas, wasn't it?
Yeah, this was her Christmas Day ensemble, and she is like, all of a sudden, I need to go see my dad.
Yeah, didn't work out so well.
At the time of her interview with Vogue, Jacqueline hadn't seen the film yet, but there was one costume she was extremely excited to see in the final cut, and it was this. She said to Vogue, I loved watching Kathy walking through a snowy landscape in a bright red cape. Red capes like that are actually historically accurate for the era, though our cape isn't particularly historically accurate. It's very much like a costume referencing the past, but also 1950s melodramas. But with that look, I was even more pleased to see what happened to the dress under the amazing lighting designed by Linus for the scene. It has a kind of fractured overprint that's icy, which looked incredible in that snowscape. Ooh. It did.
Yeah, it really did. If she just looked incredible walking through like that like tattered old home. She looked great. Yeah. I mean, like even that was like maybe a scene like we probably didn't even need. But like she looked great though. Like Jackie said, like she looked awesome. So I agree. That's funny. And like it's kind of funny that she kind of mentioned like the blurred line between historical accuracy and like combining like these contemporary like references at the same time too.
Absolutely. Another place that really happens is when Heathcliff returns.
Yeah.
And she's showing him through the house.
Things start spiraling.
Yeah. And this was like one of the costumes that people were also like, hey, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Because people were like, why are you putting latex in this film? Well, Spencer, guess what? It's not latex. Jacqueline told Vogue, it's just an ultra shiny synthetic plasticized contemporary fabric. Red is a key color for Kathy throughout the film, and she wears a few high shine pieces. That idea of a shiny surface is key to Kathy's character and costumes. We use this look in this scene because it was about combining the dress and the set in a really artificial, highly stylized way. Because it has this rubberized, high shine red floor, they seem to blend into each other. And then the walls of the library are white like her blouse.
I love that look. I never thought it was latex to me. Like it always looked like almost like a lame, but I love it. It looks cool.
Yeah.
I like the shiny surface aspect of it. It does look like synthetic though. Like it looks.
Yeah.
I love like that shiny exterior aspect of it though too. It just looks like almost like Heathcliff should be a little like on guard when he sees her. Like something is not right here for sure.
And she's just trying to like melt into the background.
Totally. Yeah, and she's just like gliding on the surface. The floor is totally creepy. Like this place is creepy.
Yeah, I didn't like the house.
I was
like, this is beautiful but unsettling.
It's like if Crimson Peak was like decorated by like people who like use like pinks and whites, you know, and like actually like remodeled. Like when Edgar set her up in the flesh colored like bedroom, I was like, okay, kinky, a little spooky there, Edgar. He was like, I like your freckle or whatever. I was like, okay. All right.
Spencer. The way I almost walked out of the theater because I thought that was so creepy.
Yeah.
I'm like, so you put her skin on the walls? What?
Yeah, I was like, gay. Don't love that, but all right.
You know who would never do that, Spencer?
I think you're gonna say Heathcliff, but I don't know if I agree with you. But proceed.
He wouldn't let Kathy know she has that much of a hold over him, even though she absolutely knows it. But yes, Heathcliff, he has re-entered the chat. So let's take a minute and talk about his just impeccable Georgian costuming. Jacqueline said of these looks, for him, we went into a kind of turn of the century 1800 style. He wears dark colors. He's obviously very brooding. He has these classic romantic hero white shirts and a long black coat. It's a heroic, Byronic look that's been established over time in cinema and theater. I loved that.
Yeah. I mean, and I kind of had a feeling, I obviously haven't read the book, but when I knew he was gone for this long, I was like, oh, I know he's going to show his ass back up looking real good at the end of this. I was like, I just know where this is going at this point. And sure enough, he showed up and I was like, yeah, he's looking real dapper, real fine. And it just was like that typical like Georgian era, like real cleaned up, high collar, real put together, big lapel. He looked good, and he just like he had that silhouette right down. Everything looked perfect. Like, you know, he had been like studying, like, sure, he was rich, but you could just tell he was like studying everything that made like a rich, perfect, tailored man in this era. So like it was a foul proof plan so that Kathy couldn't say anything, you know? So she was like, she had nothing to say now she had to love him because there was nothing else that would keep them apart now at this point. So
exactly. Except maybe that gold tooth. I did not like that.
Well, whatever.
I was like, was that necessary?
Gotta fill it with something. So, you know.
Yeah, no, I loved him. It was perfect. It made me annoyed that he looked so good, which I think was the point. And Kathy just keeps pulling out spectacular looks, including this one, which is one of the most historically accurate looks of the period, though it is inspired by Swiss peasant costume of the time, not English aristocracy. Durran took inspiration from Winterhall paintings, and she said, I love the combination of white and velvet and the chains. I felt like it earned its place in the story. We are talking about her black and white, just like when things are going good with Heathcliff. She's got, you know, everything is situated with her side piece. She's got her nice plushy life at home. I really liked this look.
Yeah, it was a cool one. It has like the kind of like cutout in the middle. It's a good one. I like it.
It's a good one. It was perfect. It was not more perfect than Kathy's rainy night ensemble, Spencer. I almost fell over when I saw this on the screen. I was like, yes, Jacqueline, thank you. What? And she talked about it to Vogue, saying of the midnight blue dress, it's something that takes you out of the period, but it was exciting to mix the shape of a Victorian dress with a fabric that was completely modern. This black dress was partially designed to be worn in moonlight when cinematographer Linus Sandrin lit the scene. The way it bounces the light back, it feels almost like she's exuding that moonlight too.
Oh, so it's not even blue. It's like black.
No.
I said it was blue earlier, but it's black.
I also said it was blue because the way it shines, it looks blue. It looks like the midnight sky. It looks like the rain that is falling that Heathcliff is waiting for her in. When she walks outside,
that's a
this
good
dress took my breath away.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's when she needs to go outside and basically kind of start to break things off. Yes. This is when things start to spiral out of control. When Heathcliff was like, I could kill him for you, I was like,
yeah.
I was like, hold up.
And she's like,
say what now?
I'm pregnant with his kid. And he was like, okay, whatever, that's fine.
Yeah, that's when things started to get a little dark. I was like, so yeah.
I was like, I'm uncomfy.
Yeah, that's a great costume though.
Spencer, that brings us to the end of our journey through, quote, Wuthering Heights, unquote.
Oof, yeah. And it was also the end of Kathy's journey, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, she bit the dust.
She kicked the bucket. She did not survive her affair with Heathcliff and Edgar, unfortunately. Nellie did not. So let's just say that Kathy cried wolf a couple times too many.
Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, sadly, unfortunately.
Yeah, very unfortunate. But we're going to take a little break and then come right back.
Cool. Sounds good. All right, Elizabeth, are you ready to get out of the rain here and play some of our favorite games and hang up the dog collars and whips and all sorts of things that we encountered in this episode?
The horse bridle.
Yeah. And bows and so on and so forth.
Yes, Spencer. Are you ready to give this a Stitch rating?
Oof, I'm nervous for this. I am.
Me too.
I'm nervous for you. But on Letterboxd, I gave this a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
Because I had a good time. It was fun. It was artistic. I mean, I haven't read the books. I went into this with no expectations. I thought it was beautiful. I felt like it didn't drag. Well, I think maybe a little bit toward the end. I was like, all right, this is starting to feel like we're wrapping up here. But it's just thought everyone did such a great job. Margot Robbie, Jacob Elordi. I liked the direction. I liked the music by Charlie XCX. I thought the costumes were great. Production was good. So I don't know. Like I just I really liked it. Maybe like a 3.5. It was fun. It was good. I liked it. I don't know. I thought it was beautiful. So yeah, I think I'll stick with that.
All right.
I'm scared.
I am definitely sitting at a 2.5 stitches.
Oh.
Okay. Because I have read the book. I read it recently to prepare. Especially because I didn't want to make criticism of something I had read maybe 10 years ago.
Right.
And this is a visually stunning film. Like, if you just want to watch something that is beautiful from lighting, cinematography, costume, set design, art direction, watch this film. The acting's great. I think Emerald did the story she wanted to tell a disservice by keeping the trappings of Wuthering Heights. I think she would have had a better story overall if she had said, oh, this is something inspired by Wuthering Heights, not an adaptation of Wuthering Heights, because I understand her inspiration. Inspiration comes from all different places. That's how creativity works. That's how art works. I totally understand how she was inspired by Wuthering Heights, but she's obviously trying to tell this story of like repressed sexuality and feelings during a time where it was hard to express those things. And, you know, comfort was a real consideration when you were deciding who to love and like who to marry. And I understand like that's kind of where she was going with this, but I don't think keeping their names, keeping the trappings of Wuthering Heights served that story.
You said keep Kathy and Heathcliff's name out your mouth is what you're saying.
Well, that like she pulls out these certain elements that make Wuthering Heights, and I don't think keeping them in served the story she wanted to tell.
Well, yeah. I mean, like we said at the beginning, she's clearly said she wanted to make the changes that she feels like she wanted to make the changes. So
I don't have a problem with that. You want to change a story a little bit, that's fine. But when you end up telling a story that's not really in the book, I would argue, I don't see the point in holding yourself back. I felt like she was held back by the fact that this was an adaptation of Wuthering Heights, if that makes sense.
Well, what we do know is that we do know costumes, and there were some costumes that we definitely got right in this film.
Absolutely.
So are you ready to play our favorite game, One Costume to Rule Them All? All right, hit it.
The one costume to rule them all.
Okay, Elizabeth, I'm kind of torn between two costumes, but they're kind of similar, honestly. So I picked the wedding dress that everyone so like loved to bash in the media. And honestly, that's probably why I picked it, because I loved everyone lighting it up for no reason because of the silhouette and whatnot. But then also there's a look in the film that we didn't talk about, the funeral look when her dad dies, just like that little veiled look. Honestly, so both of the veiled looks, honestly.
If we had talked about it, there was just so much in this film. Like, unfortunately, it was one of the things where I was like, we got to keep going.
Yeah.
But in the film, watching the scene of her father's funeral, I was like, this is more her wedding gown than her wedding gown was her wedding gown.
Oh my gosh, but she was making me crazy holding hands with Heathcliff at the funeral. I was like, stop it. Like,
your husband is standing there like eulogizing your father.
Maybe like out.
Maybe like tone it down for a second, kids.
I know, I can't. But yeah, I love all the veiled looks. I thought it was really cool. Yeah, those are two great costumes. So, but there's so many costumes to pick from. I'm calling it now. I honestly think Wuthering Heights is gonna be an Oscars conversation in the next cycle. So costume wise,
I don't know. I mean, it's killing at the box office. It's doing so well. But
Jacqueline Durran, never count out Jacqueline Durran.
That's true. She gets nominated like every single time.
Yeah. So anyways, what was your one costume to rule them all?
My one costume to rule them all is her not blue rainy night dress. Yeah. I just like it, not like, I was floored in the theater. I saw it and I was like, damn, look at that. Yeah, the way it interacts with the rain, the lighting. It's Kathy's like basically her last like big look, because she gets sick after this.
Yeah, she takes one last moonlight walk in the rain, and then things start going down.
They go downhill real fast. I love, like, I will say I did love at the end when she's dead and Heathcliff comes to her, and you just hear like the whispers of her saying his name.
Oh, I didn't even hear that.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a beautiful moment.
It
I was
was
sad. See, didn't you feel it? I was all sad and emotional.
It was not a bad film, but like I said, I don't think she served her own story by keeping it so tied to Wuthering Heights, Spencer.
I was like in the lobby of my AMC all crying in my popcorn. I did a double feature. I went and saw Zootopia and then I saw Wuthering Heights and I was all distraught afterwards.
You saw Zootopia first?
That's just the way the schedule lined up. I wish I could have did Zootopia last to cheer me up, honestly.
I was going to say, yeah.
But just for the record, Zootopia actually was not very cheerful either. I mean, those are some deep themes also. Zootopia too.
That's true.
We were having a conversation about ethnic cleansing in Zootopia too, but that's a whole other podcast that I'm not going to get into.
No.
Anyways, great one, Kasi ruled them all. That brings us to the end of Wuthering Heights. Elizabeth, I am so glad we got to do this. I know it was a doozy of an episode, but Toxic Relationship Month really paid off because we really got into some toxic stuff. Email us at theartofcostume@gmail.com and tell us what you loved from Wuthering Heights. If you want to tell us what you what also got on your nerves as well, some of your favorite costumes, we want to hear it all. Tell us your comments, questions, concerns. Of course, you could always follow us at the Art of Costume Pod on Instagram, TikTok at the Art of Costume, where we'll be posting clips. You'll be able to see me and my beautiful face sitting in my bed, or Elizabeth clearly reading some of these facts and concern about me being in my bed. Merch store at the artofcostume.com/pod store. Elizabeth, I am so excited about next month's series because we are moving into Oscar season. Mm-hmm. And while we're not going to just talk about this year's Oscar movies, because we've basically done that already on the podcast, so instead we're going to kind of kick it back to really just talk about Los Angeles and the city that we live in. And what better way to do that than to talk about a film that just really celebrates Los Angeles. So next episode, Elizabeth, we will be watching... What are we watching, Elizabeth?
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, I'm so excited. This is one of my all-time favorite films. I'm so hyped.
Never seen it before. I can't wait. You've been talking about it forever. So I'm really excited to dive into Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Everyone, if you could leave us a little 5-star text review on Apple Podcast, we would really appreciate that. And while you're waiting for our episode on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, go listen to The Costume House with Spencer Williams.
Hey, yeah, go do that. We have recently we had an episode with Jenny Bevan, and we talk about the Coral, and also we talked about Mad Max Fury Road and Furiosa, and we have more episodes coming up. I'm getting ready to record one this week, and I have another one coming up, and more stuff coming up that they're just kind of dropping sporadically. Another big one I'm excited about, but of course I just don't want to announce them until they happen. So you don't get your hopes up until they happen. So they're like surprises. So, and I won't be sick during those. This is a one-time thing. So until then, don't keep people up in your barns. Be nice to your stable boys.
Yep.
And don't talk about them behind their backs. Yep. Especially if you love them. And do you know what? Tell your stable boys that you love them and mean it, Or don't. If you don't love them, then say that too,
Maybe just treat them with kindness and humanity.
Yeah, do that too. Just mean what you say and say what you mean.
And also when you have a really nice, rich, attractive husband, maybe just appreciate that.
Just appreciate what you got.
Appreciate what you got, everybody.
Yeah. Until next time, costume nerds, have a good week.